Probably the most distinctive of all the African animals is the common plains zebra. These stunning pajama-striped animals roam in herds that are pretty easy to spot. Although they look identical, no two zebras have the same patterns. It's like having a unique thumbprint painted on the side of your body.
Zebras are awesome. It's good to know more about zebras.
Plains zebras are very social animals. They live in groups called harems, and several harems come together to form a herd. Sometimes they can be thousands of animals strong. And the main reasons for these gatherings is to defend themselves against predators.
They are living like human beings. Some of the social behaviors, it's just like the way we live at home.
There's one species of zebra that few people know about. It's the Grevy'S zebra. This week on Wildlife Warriors, join me and Rosemary Warungu as we discover why this is the most endangered zebra in the world. The Grevy'S zebra is the rarest species of zebra in the world. They occur only in Kenya and a tiny population in southern Ethiopia. Their population numbers fewer than 3,000 individuals. To study this animal, you need to know exactly how many there are, what the population structure looks like, and where they're distributed. But how do you study these animals? They occur over vast landscapes, thousands of square kilometers. A project here in central and north Kenya has figured out how to identify every single Grevy'S zebra by its stripes. Hi Rosemary.
Hi, Paula.
How are you doing?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm very well, thanks.
I've heard you have come to see the Grevy'S zebras.
I have.
I was almost going out in the field. Can you join me?
I'd love to.
Let's go.
So, how many have you been seeing in the last few days?
The last time I was in the field, I saw 60.
Wow.
That was one herd. That was awesome.
Do you think we'll see that many today?
Yeah, I'm hoping that we'll see a lot today because the weather is so cool.
Which one is your car?
This is my car.
This is a very nice car.
Thank you. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Rosemary is doing her research on zebras in the vast Laikipia and Samburu counties in Kenya. She's based at the Impala Research Centre. We've just seen some zebra up here on the top of the plains. This is the common zebra or the birch-shelled zebra, and it's found over large parts of Africa. It's the animal that we're most familiar with when we say zebra. But it's very different from the Grevy'S zebra, the endangered species that is also found in this part of Kenya. The plain zebra forms herds that are ruled by a single stallion. They are very much like horses and everything that we know about horses. The mares and their foals stay with that stallion and he fights to keep his mares with him. But he's not territorial. He moves across this landscape. It's very different to the Grevy'S zebra. In their case, the males defend territories, and the most dominant males will have territories closest to the water. Those males don't have harems. The females just pass through. They stay with him for a while, they might mate, and then they move on. The two different strategies are very unique, and this is why the study of Grevy's zebra is so interesting. I'm here with Rosemary Warungu. She's been studying zebras for 11 years, and she's an expert on these species.
I was so interested in social behaviors of zebras, and I started with plain zebras. I was like, I want to know how these zebras live, because the families are so much like us. So I decided now I can do that. And later I joined the project as an assistant.
Shortly after, Rosemary turned her attention to the Grevy'S zebra. But despite her expertise with them, they are still hard to find.
What's happening?
I think that we have a problem with the vehicle.
Is it your clutch or your gears? Oh my God, doesn't sound right.
It has stopped. It's
Oh
a
my
problem
God.
with the
Do you
accelerator.
have your phone? Can we call somebody? You have a radio. You don't have a radio.
We don't have reception here, but don't worry, I don't know what to do about it.
What is this, like a normal problem with your car? Is it?
Don't worry, I'll fix it. Can't move.
She says don't worry, and it's almost 6 o'clock at night, and there are elephants all around us.
Yeah, the vehicle has
Oh my
stopped. It can't move. So, but I think of something. I can fix
This
it.
isn't good.
Let's check.
Jesus.
Let's see what has happened.
Oh my goodness. I think you broke the engine. You went over so many
really.
trees.
Let's check. Something must have happened when we were in the thick bushes. And oh yes, Paul, I can see. This is what happened. The pipe just came out. This is a pump.
For what? Fuel?
For fuel, this is a fit
Oh
pump
my
for
gosh.
fuel, and this pipe has just come out. So what I'll do, I'll fix this and we'll be good to go.
So how do you know all this?
So I studied mechanic before going to Zebra Pro.
You're a mechanic.
I'm a mechanic. I studied mechanic before I get passion to work with wildlife.
I envy you. I
So
wish I
if-
knew something about being a mechanic.
This is so cool because I don't get stuck in the field. Now this one came out just because we were out there in the thick bushes, and I have studied mechanical engineering for 3 years. Now that we have fixed the pipe, now I have to pump so that the fuel that is in the filter and in the pump can go through the pipe
Okay.
to the injector.
Let's see.
So let's see.
Okay. Maybe you can try the engine again while the bonnet is still open. Yes!
Good to go.
Great.
I told you not to panic. You can go back and
Well
look
done.
for Grevy'S.
Okay. That was great.
The last thing I expected was to discover that Rosemary, one of the most stylish field conservationists I've ever met, is a mechanic. I'm also surprised just how hard it is to find these zebras.
We've just been searching for these Grevy's zebras all over the place. They are quite elusive. First, they're not as easy to see as you'd think. And second, the moment you turn off the ignition, they start walking away. They're a little bit nervous. So we're just going to have a look over this cliff and see if there are any other Grevy's on the other side. Here in Laikipia, with spectacular views of Mount Kenya, we have large ranches owned by private individuals and communities adjacent to areas that are occupied by pastoralists. What you can see down here is how the river marks the end of the Impala Ranch, and on the other side is pastoral area. Overgrazing by goats, cows, sheep, donkeys, camels even, has resulted in the complete annihilation of the grass in this area. What you see is the red soil coming through. There are some very thorny bushes down there. That river marks the boundary of the territory of the Grevy'S. They won't go into those areas. There isn't enough food for them.
There is a lactating female, a full pregnant female, one stallion male, and 2 non-lactating females. And they are all vigilant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because it's in the open.
You can see now when they are vigilant, they put the ears in, like they are straight but in front of the... The difference between a common zebra and a Grevy's zebra is the stripes are wide, not like for the Grevy's zebras, and the stripes goes loud the belly. Grevy's don't have harems. Grevy's males are territorial males. They are either dominant territorial males or subordinate territorial males. Dominant territorial males are the ones who their territories are along the source of water, and subordinate males are the ones that their territories are far away from water. Females live by their own. They might mix with males, but not for a long time. They don't have that common relationship, but females and foals, they live together. They only go to males when they are, maybe they are going to look for water, or sometimes it's mating season, and after the season is over, they move around. They don't stay with one male. It's not like common zebras.
Part of Rosemary's work is to document every individual Grevy's zebra that she comes across.
This one is a range finder. I'm taking the distance between me and the Grevy's zebra. Now, like this one is 35 meters from me. It's the data sheet. It's shown the GPS for location.
How do you know it's 35 meters? This thing has always foxed me, this machine, man.
So now we are going to look whether we can get nice photos of that Grevy.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
After taking down information about the zebra's location, Rosemary takes its photo. This part is crucial for her work.
Okay, send. Okay, this other one is turned now.
40 years ago, there were 15,000 Grevy's zebra. Today, there are fewer than 3,000.
Sometimes back, people used to hunt for the skin because it's beautiful, so it's marketable, and that is one of the things that made Grevy's zebra to be an endangered species, because people could hunt for skin and sell. Others would, maybe there are some maids that the fat of the zebra can cure asthma and such, but they are just, some of them are maids, but those things made people to hunt zebras.
I didn't know that.
And so that is why nowadays we are keen in conserving Grevy's zebras, because if you are not careful, in the near future we won't be having Grevy's zebras.
Why are the plain zebra doing better than the Grevy's? What's the difference in their behavior or social structure that makes them more successful?
Since common zebras live in harems. Males takes good care of its females and the lactating. And that one doesn't happen to Grevy's, since the lactating females stay for themselves. They are like, they stay alone. Maybe sometimes there are no male allowed for protection.
So the females have to look after themselves and their foals.
Themselves and their foals. So, and also like for Grevy's, they walk around to look for water, not like common zebras. Common zebras always like to graze or to stay where there is a source of water. But Grevy's zebras, they walk a lot. I just want to download this camera and see how many photos I've taken today. I saw a lot of zebras and I want to see how many I can identify with the new program.
Wildbook is an online software that can identify individual animals from their coats. For zebras, it reads their stripes like a barcode. If this zebra is already in the system, it will recognize it because each individual zebra has its own profile, just like Facebook.
Now I'm going to identify one of the zebras that I came across. I just take the image and drag it in the software. The first step it uploads the photo in the software.
Because all zebras look the same, it's hard to study them because you can't tell them apart. Wildbook, for the first time, allows us to study hundreds of thousands of animals as individuals, which was never possible before.
And after uploading, it will detect the zebra in that photo, and it will mark the detection, putting a square where the Grevy's zebra is. These yellow spots are the key areas, the hot spots that the software has seen are similar to the zebra in the database. This one is the one I got from the field. This one is the one in the database. The yellow spots show the hot spots that the machine used to identify this animal.
The software was used in 2016 and again in 2018 to do a population survey of the Grevy's zebra. What was discovered was a decline in the juvenile age group. And this is significant because there may be too few to sustain the population.
I'm supposed to collect data and take good photos of each and every zebra. As we use the software to identify, it helps us to know where the animals are, because when we go out in the field, we take GPS and we take photos, and each and every individual in the database has its own GPS. So if we want to know where the individuals are, we are able to know this is a certain individual. Each and every zebra has its own ID, is unique, and the stripes are all different. So when we want to know where that individual has been for a certain duration of time, like a month or 2 or 1 year, we are able to question the software, and we will be able to know why did it move from south to north. Is it that there is no maybe source of water, or the habitat it's poor? We are able to answer those questions.
The wonderful thing about Wildbook is that it is not restricted to scientists. Anyone with a camera can contribute. This software is revolutionary, and when Rosemary told me that she was going to talk to its creator, I couldn't wait to find out more. Although the Grevy's zebra are found mainly in Kenya, people around the world are concerned about their survival. One of them is Tanya Berger-Wolf. She designed Wildbook, the extraordinary software to help researchers like Rosemary. Even though she's half a world away, they can still collaborate via Skype.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh, hi Tanya. I hope that you can see us.
Hi, guys.
Oh, there you are.
Yes.
Great.
Yep, I can see you and I can hear you.
That's
It's a
great.
Start.
How's Chicago?
It snowed last week. We're starting the winter season.
Well, we've been out with the zebras with Rosemary, and I think we had a few questions for you. What's the significance for Grevy's zebra that we will actually be able to use this software that you've developed?
So we have right now books for more than 25 species of animals, ranging from whale sharks and manta rays to lynx and turtles and Grevy's zebras and giraffes. And so for Grevy's, the ability to just take a picture and then recognize an animal in that picture, pictures taken by people as young as 5 years old, all you need to be able to do is just click that button on the camera and the picture goes up in into the system, and all the algorithms kick in, working on that picture, figuring out, is there a zebra in that picture, where it is there more than one, and who they are, matching it to the database of the existing animals that we already have. And then, instead of putting a color, or instead of scientists trying to see all the zebras everywhere, we can actually just use pictures that everybody takes to track those animals and to create a map of the population and follow it from year to year. And so imagine being able to have not only accurate population numbers, essentially at any given point when you want to find out, but also where all the animals are they moving, how they respond to drought, to changing habitat conditions, are they going somewhere else? How many juveniles are born and how many of them survive to adulthood?
This is really exciting, actually. I'm really thrilled that Rosemary and all the others working on this project get to participate in a global initiative that is not only protecting Grevy's zebra for everybody, but has created this enormous opportunity for Kenyans to participate in contributing to that science. It's very exciting. It just makes you realize that every visitor that comes to Kenya and sees a Grevy's zebra, every student on a school trip into Samburu National Reserve and sees a Grevy's and takes a photo, can actually contribute to the national database and in fact the global database of this beautiful and rare species.
Indeed, everybody can contribute just by taking a picture.
Now that we can study these animals in so much detail, we can really understand how they live and how climate change is affecting them. One of the most profound conclusions from the research is that the species is declining in degraded pastures. We now know that the survival of the Grevy's zebra will require rangeland restoration and improving their access to water. Rosemary fell in love with wildlife after being taken on a game drive. Today, she does the same thing with local school children who she teaches to take photographs to contribute to the Wildbook database. Can you see the zebras over there?
Yes. Take good photos of the
if you
zebra.
want to play?
If you want to play. Take as many photos as you can.
I can't hear any shutters going. Are you taking pictures? How can you tell if a Grevy's is different from a plain zebra? What's the difference?
The Grevy's zebras have the small stripes, but the plain zebra has the large stripes.
Very good.
What about the belly?
The belly of a Grevy's zebra, it has no stripes.
Which color?
White.
Has a white belly.
On Rosemary,
Yes.
so do a Grevy's zebra as a territory?
A male Grevy's zebra is territorial. It has a territory. Like the one we are in here, it's just one male, the one you have taken photo. Do you know why they shake after rolling on the ground? They shake to move away the light hairs that has come out when it was rolling down. That is the way they clean themselves. It's like the way you go to shower. That's their shower.
Imagine having a shower in the dust.
This is the next generation of wildlife warriors. And it's amazing to see them experience this fantastic world for the very first time.
Grevy's zebras are endangered because the population has been declining for a while, and the reason why they are declining is because of the habitat competition with the livestock. In Kenya we have 2,812. I would encourage you to learn more about wildlife and especially zebras, because they'll be able to manage the habitat that we are in. They'll be able to know the strategies they can use to increase the population. With the knowledge, they can even educate the communities nearby to know the importance of the Grevy'S zebras.
If you want to help our amazing wildlife, why don't you start a Wildlife Warriors Club in your school? To learn more about this program, please visit our website